Good morning, and thank you to my friend Juliet for joining the morning, spending the morning with us, excuse me. One of the things we should say, one of the, all of a sudden I feel like I was teaching a class. One of the things we've spoken about in the last couple of weeks is what this moment has started to become. And it's really become an amazing opportunity to network, to meet other women, in the community, in town, who are going back into the workforce, rebranding themselves, taking a leap of faith, and it's been phenomenal. Every month, there's some new connection that gets to happen. I know Mary linked up with a literary agent last month, and now they're talking, and a bunch of people got new haircuts, including for free or new color, and that was great fun too. And ironically, Juliet and I technically are in the same industry, in health and wellness. And what I love about working with you is that there's no competition. It's how can we grow from each other? How can we use
and how can we
other?
help?
And how can we help
other people?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because I just referenced you this morning. I started to work more with high school girls who are ready to embark on this college career and are frightened, have no idea how to even probably make their own beds or balance a checkbook or what to eat, and etc. And one of the first things I did was I said, what will your workout routines look like? And they were kind of like, I don't know, so Beachbody suddenly became part of my program. And whether it's Beachbody or working with a yoga instructor like Carol or personal trainers like Lori and Carrie, or linking in today with Juliet, there's so much here that's our goal with these moments, is to just get the conversation to continue.
And find your thing. That's what's so important about all of this is, that it just makes you healthy. You get into a better mindset. You're a better mom, you're a better wife, you're a better friend when you're taking care of yourself. So doing a home workout might be your thing. It might not be your thing, but finding something that works for you to create that mindset and create that feeling in your body. And that's why I was so excited when Colette said, do you want to talk about this? I said, it's like what my passion is, just helping people just feel good about themselves.
Absolutely. So today we're going to focus exactly on that and how Juliet has turned getting herself into shape into a money-making business, and how she's even gotten me, the last 2 weeks I've been traveling, very fortunate, and use these workouts via my phone to actually continue my routine, and able to use different things from weight training to yoga to just simple cardio. And then just obviously your daily posts, which make me always feel like I gotta get up and go now because she's already up and her boxers are up and been walked and I'm still having coffee, so let's go. So I thought we could just start by talking a little bit, really I met you via Facebook initially. Right. That was the first time we were in contact with each other. And my first experience with Beachbody was actually years ago. So it's a company that's been around, I don't know.
So like Insanity, it used to be an infomercial company. So like Tony Horton did PX90. I never say that wrong. Everyone's always like, no, it's P90X. But I have it the way in my head. And that's where it started. So it was an infomercial. And then all of a sudden they realized how that blew up, and how people really that maybe weren't comfortable going to the gym or didn't know what to do because they couldn't afford a personal trainer, or they didn't know where to find a personal trainer. They could do this at home because you could put it on your TV. So that's how the company started, and then it kind of just blew up from there. And then they started having celebrity trainers create programs. And nowadays, every year or even every 3 or 4 or 5 months, there's a new program that starts. So there is something for everyone. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your fitness level, and that's what I love, because every program has a modifier. They have an intensifier. So there's someone in that you can follow. They talk about your form and all that stuff. So that's kind of how it started, and then it really just kind of blew up from there. So now we do, there's food that's involved in it and stuff like that. So there's many different aspects of it.
So why don't we say a little bit about how you started on this journey?
So I played college sports. I have good genes. This is my mom. We ate healthy as kids. I was very active, and I really never had to watch. I was never on a diet. I never really had to watch what I was doing. After college, I decided I am not working out anymore. I'm done. So I moved to the city. basically instead of going to the gym, I would go to the bar. And I was fine. I didn't gain weight, I was good. Then I had children, and I was like, this is fantastic. I literally lived in the city, and every block, every time I was walking my dog, I would literally stop and get pizza. So I gained 65 pounds with each of my kids. I was over 200 pounds. So after my first child, I wore a size 16 pant. My sister and I were literally pregnant at the same time. She gained 20 pounds. She's like, when you have a craving, you eat an apple. And I was like, an apple? That's not gonna do it. So it was very, but I was like, I was actually not the happiest pregnant person because I was grumpy, but because behind my nutrition sucked. I was eating so much sugar, but I was like, this is great, whatever. I'm gonna nurse and take it off. And within that year of having my first baby, I took it off. It was fine. Had my second baby. I was like, maybe I shouldn't gain 65 this time. Maybe I'll try a little bit. So I gained, I think, 55. And then again, took it off within that year, but kept on 5 pounds. Then my third, kept on 10 pounds. I gained, I think, 68 with her. And I can show you some pictures there. So that's me right before she was due on the beach. Happy with my bikini because I was like, this is great, I can be big and just enjoy it. So from there, I was 36, 37. Still, took off, had 10 pounds on me, but I was like, wear a blousy top, put some makeup on, who cares? Still, feel good. I was always a confident person. So then I hit 40 and things started wiggling in places that I was like, what is this? What's going on? And my oldest is dyslexic, and we were the public school wasn't working. We were in Connecticut. We just moved here full time in September. But it wasn't working, and I started emotional eating. And because I was like, what am I gonna do? How can I help this child? My best friend was diagnosed with frontal lobe dementia. She was 40. Another thing on me. I literally was like, and I wasn't eating unhealthy, I wasn't eating balanced. So I basically was having a bag of quinoa chips from Whole Foods and a bottle of wine for dinner, and I was like, okay, that's good. At that time, I was walking my dogs, and it was right, we used to come out here all summer. I mean, we still do, but now we're full time. So from that point, I looked at my husband. It was right before Memorial Day, and I said, holy shit, I got big. I was like, when did this happen? I said, I don't think I can wear a bikini. This is not where you can hide it. This is a little obscene. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do something. It was the first time I was uncomfortable in my skin. And I never had been uncomfortable in my skin, and it was really not a good feeling. It was not a good feeling. I didn't have energy. I was tired when my kids came home. At 3 o'clock, I would shove sugar in my face because I was like, I'm just tired. Why am I so tired? And I always ate healthy, so I didn't know what was happening, but emotional eating, I realized, this is what's happening. I'm not eating balanced. So someone I went to high school with that was 4 or 5 years younger than me, posted something on Facebook, and she looked really strong. And I was like, oh, she's always a really thin girl, but she looks strong. I wonder what she's doing. I reached out to her and I said, if you're not doing Joyride for 3 hours or going to the gym all day and then lunching with the ladies, tell me what you're doing. She said, oh, you actually like this. This is home workouts, it's 30 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sold. So she started me in a program called 21 Day Fix Extreme. I should have not started on that because I hadn't worked out in 20 years, but she remembered me from high school, athlete, so she put me on a very hard program. I struggled through it, but I did it. I stopped drinking for the 21 days. It was even going up to Memorial Day. I mean, my husband and I would have cocktails on the weekends. It's not that I was sitting at home drinking during the day. It wasn't anything of that. But I literally was like, I have a goal. I don't want to wear that skirt. I don't want to wear that skirt on the beach. And I'm 41 years old. This is not going to happen. So when I say I focused. I'm very much of an all or nothing person. I'm not an in-between person. So I have to do something, I have to do it. And if I'm going the other way, I don't have a glass of wine, I have a bottle of wine. I don't have a bag of chips. I mean, 1 chip, 2 chips, I have the entire bag of chips. So just to see, this picture was in May. I was not going to be taking a before picture, but my coach was like, you have to take a before picture. I'm like, I'm not taking a before picture. I pulled these shorts out of a bag that was going to Goodwill. I had an old nursing bra on, and I said to my husband, okay, just take it. I have to do it. My coach said I have to do it. So I took that picture, and that was my only before picture. So that's now why it's on social media, because I had nothing else, because I hadn't been overweight for a long time, but I had just gained that extra, like 13 pounds on top of the other one. So I took that picture. That was May. This was August. Okay.
Amazing.
I focused. I knew what I needed to do because my coach said, hey, this is what you need to do. This is the program you're going to do. This is how you're, oh, of course, not my coach. No, not at all. This is the nutrition you're going to do. You're going to eat balanced. I figured out, I was not eating, as I said, I was not eating unhealthy, but I was eating not enough protein. I was having way too many carbs and way too much fruit. I was eating a lot of vegetables, but my body was just like holding on to stuff because I wasn't eating balanced.
And I think that that's something we talked a couple of sessions ago when Carol was here presenting, just on, not to call you out right first thing in the morning, but good morning. Just the extreme dieting, and I'm sure you guys, being in fitness as well, have seen, everyone's now doing keto, or everyone's a vegan. Everyone is totally, what are macronutrients, what are micronutrients, and it's sort of like what's trending. And I just read this great article coming out of UCLA, and just how we're addicted to being addicted to fitness and wellness because we want to just keep the 10 pounds off. And for most of us, we're actually throwing our body out of rhythm. And this doctor went on to say, the first thing I say to people is, yes, let's be aware of your diet, but are you moving? Because he's had so many clients who were actually on the cusp of a major physical disaster and really kept it at bay because they decided to start walking every day for just 20 minutes at a brisk pace. Mm-hmm. And so his first thing is just start taking steps. And I think part of what's so great about your approach to health and wellness is exactly that. Yes, it's diet, but let's move. Yes. Because for so many of us, especially this time of year, seasonal depression is very much a thing for many people. And the numbers for women are staggering. Especially if you think about our days, whether you're at home with younger children or just juggling your children and your husband, and in my case now a puppy, and trying to just make it all look really doable. You're usually the first one to get slighted. Oh, okay, I'll feed them. I have to still walk the dog, or oh, good, the dog just ate that, so now she's sick, or oh, my husband needs me to be a secretary and draft an email, And it's usually, okay, I'll come back around to me. And what's so wonderful about, now that I'm exploring these programs, thanks to you, is there's 10-minute workouts up to 60-minute workouts. And I would love to say that I do the 60 minutes, but they don't happen often.
No, and you have to find what works for you, as I was saying in the beginning.
And that's just it. And, something where I live, so many people will walk the bridges. And if you live in West Hampton, you know what that means. It's an easy, quick 3.5, and you can, map it out. And for years, I've lived here and I've watched people walk the bridges. And I actually came up with this idea today that I think I'm going to present to someone about like teaming up. Like you may not have someone to walk with, but maybe there's a meeting point or a time frame where you can sign up and say, I'll walk faster if I walk with someone else.
It's the accountability.
Yeah, I mean, I know when you and I we've had some of our best brainstorming sessions walking the bridges, as opposed to sitting at the bakery. But today our meeting will be walking the bridges. So,
but that's the accountability is huge. And whether I always tell my clients, whether you feel guilty or it's the other women showing up. For me, I started and then I felt guilty. I was like, damn it, they're up. I gotta do it. So whether it was the Catholic guilt that got me going or what got me going, but after 5 days, my energy came back. And that was what, I had the weight on and I was, as I said, I could wear a blousy top, put some makeup on, who cares? But the energy and just how tired I was and how snappy I was and how grumpy I was at times, that's what really got to me. I was like, I'm a high energy person. And I remember my husband would come home at 3 o'clock, the kids would come home and I'd be like, oh my God, what did I do? Why am I so tired? What in the world? And then my husband would come home and I'd be even more tired and I would try to tell him what I did. And then I was like, I don't really think I did anything. Why the hell am I so tired? And he was always very supportive, but it was because I wasn't doing anything. I was thinking that I was walking the dogs and I was walking the dogs for like 4 miles, but it was the nutrition and not walking fast enough. Like I wasn't doing the proper steps. Do you know what I'm saying?
So why don't we, or rather you, talk a little bit about if someone, there's a couple ways I look at this program. One, I'm about to gift it to my sister for Mother's Day because she's a single mom, And she has a full-time job that's become very encompassing. But I know on the weekends, she's looking for something. And going to the gym is not an option because of my niece. And my niece is also at that tween stage. So I think this is something they could do together. So do you want to maybe talk a little bit about what if someone were to sign on with you today? What are the programs, or what does that look like, and your role?
Yep. So basically what I do is I kind of talk to you, figure out what kind of program you want. But the thing that's so awesome about this company is they package everything together. So you basically, with an initial package, you get a year of workouts. So, and there's hundreds of workouts. There's yoga, there's Pilates, there's high intensity cardio. I don't know why that didn't come out. There's weights, there's something for everyone, and as I said, in each program, there is a modifier. So like, my mom has done programs with me where she's following the modifier, and I'll have clients that say, well, if I follow the modifier, that means I'm not strong or whatever. No, it means you're building the muscles to then be able to not do it. Or if you have an injury, like I have a bad lower back, I have to really watch what I'm doing, and so instead of, I have to be intentional about it. So I follow the modifier in some parts of that. So you basically get the year's worth of workouts, and then there's a nutritional aspect for it. I drink, it's called Shakeology. I'm sure you guys, some of you have heard it, some of you might not have heard it, but I have mine for my breakfast or my lunch. And you get that for a month as well within it. It's got a lot of vitamins and minerals. It's very natural. There's no chemicals. It's the other thing I love about the company is it's a California-based company, so they scan all their ingredients when they come in. They run the farms that do this, and so there's no chemicals, there's no additives, there's just no crap in it, basically. And that's like something I'm really believe in. So I checked with my homeopath, we looked through all the ingredients. It's a lot of stuff that I have taken for like immune support for my the last 6-7 years that are in this. So I felt really good about that. But so that comes with it as well. And then there's something that is probably my favorite part of it is the accountability. So I have it's a free app that goes on your phone. And basically I work with other coaches. So every day we put a post up every morning that either is motivational, it's everyone's like, you get up, and I'm like, it's scheduled, I schedule it. But yes, you can believe that I'm up at 4 a.m. putting that up there to make sure everyone's getting up. It's either motivational, it's educational. There's, sometimes it's just a quote, and we do that every morning. And after you do your workout, you check in. So you're checking in saying, hey, I did my workout today, X, Y, and Z. And there's times where I'll do one program. We just launched this program called Transform 20. I know some of you might have seen it on the Today Show. It's a 20-minute program with a step, like the old 80 step, but it's not the old 80 step. Sean T, who did Insanity, he's the creator of it. And he was just on the Today Show just talking about how this is a program not just for the high athlete, but also for the people that are just starting out, because 20 minutes, just think about that. Literally, you start it, I just did mine this morning, and I was like, oh, winded, 15 minutes. Oh my God, this is amazing. I can do this in 15 minutes. And there's people in it that are also, I have clients that just had just had a baby, they gained 70 pounds with their first baby and their second baby, and they're like, I can't even move. And I'm like, but you're gonna go up and down that step. And this woman has now finished she's going into her second round. She's walking 4 miles and doing this at like a 15-minute pace. She's like, I couldn't even walk around the block. She's like, this is crazy, 20 minutes. It's so, it's just, as you can see, I get very passionate about it because it's so exciting. But then there's other programs, like there's 3-week yoga studio where you can do yoga and have, the people there, so you're following what they're doing. There's just so much that you do. So you basically get that package, and it's people are like, oh, that's too expensive, I can't. It's $160 for a year's worth of workouts, a month of nutrition, and the accountability groups. And then me, that I sit there and talk, I always have a conversation with every one of my clients to find out what program they're on. We do a call where I give you a meal plan just to look to see how you're gonna be eating, or just ideas of how you're gonna be eating. We sit and we go through the on-demand, which I can show you how easy it is to access on your phone, on your iPad, on your Apple TV. So wherever you go, you can do it. So if you're on vacation, okay, I was doing a weightlifting program. Well, guess what? I'm going on vacation. I can't. So I'm going to do one of the cardios, and I can do 20 minutes, as the kids are getting their bathing suits on. My kids do this with me at times, and the thing that, and I'm totally getting emotional, I'm getting my period, so maybe that's why, but the thing that's so amazing is my kids and my boys and my daughter, they're like, Mom, you're so strong. And that, to have sons see that, but then also my daughter, who is more of a muscular girl, to be like, look at your muscles, you're like the strongest mom I know, is so huge and so amazing. And I'm so proud that I'm able to show them this. Like, I get up every day. I had a goal, and this was my goal. And I don't talk about weight with them because that's not, you love your body how it is. If you have some weight on it, you want to love your body in every aspect, but you want to do something healthy. You want to be healthy. So for them to be like, you get up every morning and do that, and it's, because it makes me feel better. I'm a better mom. My mind is clear. They know. My son, who's 13, who right now we mainstreamed him, my dyslexic son, and he's going to West Hampton Beach and just got on the honor roll, but that's beside the point. So he will say to me, oh, you didn't work out this morning. And I'm like, oh, I know. Grumpy. I'm sorry. He totally knows when I haven't done it, and it's so annoying. Like, I'll be like, oh, you don't have to point that out. He's like, no, when you do, you're just so much nicer. And I'm like, I know. Is that annoying? Yes, but it's so true. And the fact that I have something right there just to be able to do, because myself, getting up and going to a gym is not for me. I need to roll out of bed and get it done right in my house, because that's just the way it works for me.
And I think it's great too, and I'll pass around my phone so you can see it. One of the things I do like about it is the reality component. Some of these DVDs you get or stream via your iPad or phone now, everyone looks so picture perfect. They're plieing at the bar beautifully, or they're doing these burpees and they don't look like they're gonna throw up, and you just are so unmotivated by the perfection.
Right.
And the background of these workouts, people are huffing and puffing or sitting down, so I'm out, So there's that, and also if you start to follow this program, you'll see the reality photos. I love when you were just referencing, especially your daughter, I had a really interesting conversation with my girls. We were away, and the first part of our trip, she said to me, well, isn't that woman too thin? And I looked, and at 9, I was sort of taken back that she was aware of that. And then, we started to talk about, healthy choices and balancing it out. And that's just a phrase we've opted to use in my house is, you could totally have it, but balance it out with this later. Or let's be sure we have some, just different, and that's obviously a whole other conversation. But going back to this program, and what I love about what you said were things like feeling strong, feeling good in your own skin, being accountable, having a team to work with, and having your family involved. And I know for many of us, getting to the gym, I love working out with trainers. I love meeting new women who inspire me to be strong. And I was fortunate to be surrounded by women who believe in empowerment and strength. And I tend to step back from others because I don't believe in competition. Like we've talked about, how can I help you? How can you help me? And before you know it, you're networking and you're using each other that way. So I think that that's a key thing.
Yep, well, so that's the thing, because I do work with a lot of personal trainers. And the thing is, I say to them, like, I have clients that love their Joyride. They love their personal trainer. And I'm like, go to that. If that's giving you, go to that. You can supplement on a snow day or a sick day with your kids, and you're like, oh, I can't get to my class. Guess what? I can push play. And it's not going to kill your bank, but you can still push play. But if you have a trainer or an instructor that you love, continue to go to that instructor because you're going to get the motivation there. But you can supplement with this. And I have so many clients that do that are like, oh my gosh, okay, I couldn't get out. I knew I had a crazy day. So I did the 20 minutes or I did the half an hour or, and it's not like you have to spend all that time. And it's not like you need a ton of equipment. And the trainers are helping you with the form. So it's not like you're sitting there being like, am I doing this right? Am I not doing it right? So that really, really helps.
I have a question. Are the workouts different every month, or are they pre-recorded and you're just watching the same?
Yeah, so like the program I'm doing now is a 6-week program. So from Monday to Saturday, it's literally a different workout every day.
For all 6 weeks it's different?
Yeah, it's different every day. There's other ones that, the one I started with 21 Day Fix Extreme, it was 7 days, but it's 3 weeks. But every week is the same workout, but like it's plyo, then it's upper body, then it's yoga, then, so it's a different one. So that's the other thing, that's where I work with my clients. Like I know myself, would I do a 7-day program now? No, on the weekends I don't like to do it. Like the one I'm doing now, I'm like, oh, Saturday, it's gonna be tough. How am I gonna figure that out? I like to do 5 days. There's a program called Lift 4, it's a 4-day week program. So when I was moving here, I was literally not home for all of basically July. I didn't have a house, I was traveling, like I didn't know what we were doing. That program was perfect for me because I was like, I can do the 4 days. If I had started that when I first started this, would I have been as successful? No, because I'm an all or nothing person. So I would have done the first 4 days, I would have taken the weekend off and been like, I'm not getting out of bed. All right, that was a good week. But because I was doing 7 days, it forced me to do it. And then, as I said, like the challenge groups where you're checking in and you're seeing the people in the morning. Oh my gosh, my newborn was up all night and I didn't want to get up, but I woke up, I saw your post and I said, you know what, even if I don't do it perfect, I'm gonna get it done because I want to be able to comment in here and show the other ladies that I can do it too. And that's what's so amazing. Like I have one of my clients is turning 52. She reached out to me because she's like, I've never been overweight, but I want to be strong. She's never been able to do a push-up, not even on her knees. She can do, I was telling Julianne yesterday, she can do 10 push-ups, regular push-ups. She's like, I probably could do 15, but I don't want to push myself, but I could do 10 on my toes. And when she films it and sends it to me, and her arms, I'm like, do you see her arms? She's like, I know, I showed my husband, and he was like, you have muscles. You're going to be 52, and do you see the muscles in your body? She's like, I've never had muscles. She's like, I wear my bikini. She's like, I never wore a bikini in my life. At 52, I wear my bikini, and my boys who are teenagers are like, Mom, you look amazing. She's like, I've never felt so good. And just knowing, just because of what I've helped her do, it's just the best feeling. It's just the best feeling. As you know, it's just such an amazing feeling seeing people get strong, seeing people get confident, and being comfortable in their skin is what is just, I mean, it's just really just the best feeling.
I want to sort of do something because we may lose her, but if you've been part of the Performing Arts Center, you've seen an amazing transformation happen here with one of the staff. Juliet has been on an amazing health and wellness journey, and I just thought it would be a perfect time for you guys to talk and for you to share.
Oh God.
So yeah, I'm gonna switch seats and just to share with what you did and your story, and I know that you've spoken with Juliet about how to now maintain this.
Oh, yeah.
And possibly working together with these videos, etc.
Mm-hmm. But I have to say, yesterday, the thing that you said, which was so awesome, you were like, it's a mindset. Once you get your mindset, you can do anything, and it's so true, and it's hard. I mean, it's not easy to be like, oh, yeah, no thanks, Juliet.
Right.
Let me just get my mindset, and then I'll be perfect. It's a mindset, so.
And I think everything dealing with my weight has been a mindset issue, for good or for worse. I wish I could say that I got pregnant and gained a lot of weight, or I, over 40 and it just happens and my body changed. No, I just have really struggled with food my whole life. Whether that's, when I was a kid, I remember like my parents would get home slightly later than I would from school. And like when I was in middle school, like I would just eat, and like they'd come home, and like if they came home too early, like I still remember my hiding spot behind the couch, like the junk. So I've always kind of struggled with that. And then after college, I gained a lot of weight and then began a process of yo-yoing, back, up and down, all over the place. And, when I had events, like when I got married, I could, like you said, when I had something in mind, I could focus and I could do it.
Yeah.
But the maintaining was, and still continues to be, a bit of a struggle for me. But what happened this last time, I had some major changes in my life, and I was just feeling a little more energized, and I started to get a little more confidence back and a little more of my sort of old self back. And then the impetus was we got a dog, and she was a puppy, and around February she was old enough to take out, and I cared so much about the dog. I'm like, I don't want the dog to get fat, I want the dog to live forever. So I was like, okay, we need to go. I need to show her I'm the alpha and whatever. So I would take her for these walks around the neighborhood, and like the first time I did, it was like a mile, and I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. That was tough. It's always tough taking that first step. And then little by little, we would walk more and more and more, and now every day, no matter what. And this is another part of it. It really becomes about taking time for yourself.
Yes, well, that's huge.
And knowing, like I'm a caregiver.
Yes.
That's just my personality. I put other people before myself, and I don't anymore. and maybe, even my stepdaughter says to me, she's like, oh, I knew you. Like, because sometimes I put myself first, a lot more now, and I'm so much happier. I'm a better stepmother, a better wife, because I make sure I get my walk every morning, and I reflect and I think, and when Colette comes in now, I'm like, can we walk? Can we walk and talk? Like, it just feels so good. I have so much energy. So anyway,
it's the energy.
Yeah,
it's the energy.
is.
What I love so much is what you said is the dogs. I mean, I'm a huge dog person, so like literally rain, snow, or shine, those dogs are out and they're walking. I mean, pretty much because they are jerks if I don't. But whatever. But that's what you found something. So even though you just said you take time for yourself, you're doing it for your dog,
yes,
which then turned into you.
That's where it started. Now the dog's kind of like, really, we're going this way. My husband calls it the death march. He's like, I'm taking Millie for her death march. But yeah, and that's sort of where it started. And then I was feeling better, and then I didn't want to eat junk anymore. It just kind of organically happened. And then I love Zumba, and I love to dance, so that has been a huge part.
And so you found something.
Yeah, I'm a big cardio person. I need to get more into weight training, I know, but for me, I don't know about all of you, but for me, exercise, it has to be something I love for me to do it. Otherwise, it's just a slog, and I can't do it.
Well, that's the thing. You have to like what you do. I mean, even with all these years, I have coaches that will literally do a program from start to finish because they're like, it's our job. We have to do it, and they always laugh at me. They're like, you're totally not doing it, are you? And I'm like, no, I hate it. I was like, I can't. I will do it, but not not to the extent that I would do a program you can love. And my clients will see it on my social media. Yeah. They'll be like, yeah, you don't really. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, I'm so transparent. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. This is what you get. Yeah. But you have to find something that you love and that you're comfortable with, and it really the thing to do. So
for me, it's like the energy. I feel so much energy. But long story short, I lost about 70 pounds in a year. Which is amazing. To go, but I feel really positive, and I've really sort of re-energized. I mean, you guys know it's like that November, December, January is like, and I've been kind of going back up and down the same 6 pounds, but I feel like really on track. And
you should be so proud of yourself. I mean, that's the thing. You changed your mindset. You paid attention to things that you needed to do, and that's what's amazing.
And I'm doing things I never thought I would do, like when I'm walking the dog, I'm listening to podcasts about mindset. I'm like, who am I? I'm the person I used to make fun of, but I think I was making fun of those people because I was a little jealous and hating a little bit. Now I'm good with it. So
oh, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. I mean, because it's when you find and you're just taking care of yourself, it really
changes everything.
It does.
And I love clothes. It's like I'm back to expressing myself through clothes again, wearing cute things, not just finding a potato sack that fits.
Yeah,
it's great. All right, am I on the hot seat?
Thank you. I would love for Juliet, because I think something else that's so important is there's the ability to make money. And if you were to link on, while you're speaking of that, I'm going to just pass around my phone so you could sort of see, at the moment there's...
If you also want to do one here too, because I'm
afraid to touch it, and because then I don't do that, so. But you can sort of scroll through, see the different programs.
So I started as a challenger, and I was like, no, I do adopt a boxer rescue. I do a lot of dog volunteering, so I was huge into that at the time. I have boxers. I was doing a lot of stuff for my kids' school. So when my coach was like, listen, after that picture in August, I had a lot of friends that were like, we never thought of you overweight, but what the heck? What's going, you have a string bikini on. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, well, what did you do? And I was like, I did this homework. I was, so I was sending them to my coach, and she's like, stop it, you could do it. And I was like, I am not, I volunteer. I was not looking to go back to work, nothing like that. And then as my oldest son, we were sending to private school. And she was like, okay, this is how much money you could have made this month. And then I was like, that's so selfish of me, that I'm just putting this on my husband and being like, I don't need to do this. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. So I started basically just doing social media, and you don't have to, but just talking to people about it. Like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Inviting people to, do you want some more information? I can send you an email. And it just has blown up. So, and I realized how good I am at this, and how I'm my passion is to really help people, and how it's also helped me stay accountable, because now I have other people that are expecting me to get my butt out of bed.